Oh, here we go.
And here we go. Won't this be fun? I want everyone to meet this lovely, wonderful gentleman, Rich Borenstein. He has his own company that supports other people in building their business. And how does he do that, you ask? Well, he will tell you in a few minutes. What I really like about Rich is he's just a down-to-earth person. He's got many years of being in the production world. So he knows how to put a video together that will close your client. And what is important to anybody who owns a business is closing the client. Hi, I'm Peggy Beauregard. We are the Nest Egg Builder, and we support you in building your nest by learning what you need to know so that you can vet out your opportunities to have your money grow and have maybe what you would call a nice, comfortable retirement where you could go. Me, I like to cruise, so I say, and go on cruises around the world like that. Now, Rich is also from California, like I am, and he has an enormous background of working with being a journalist, being a writer, being a producer, like doing all these things because he's brilliant at what he does.
Well, thank you, Peggy. I appreciate it. It's great to be with you, and you're pretty fantastic with what you do as well. I mean, it's I admire where you're at and the things that you're accomplishing. So, congratulations to you as we get started.
Thank you. So, what I really enjoyed when we were having this conversation before we started was what you did for your customers. So, you were telling me about this doctor group that you were working with, and this doctor group uh, during COVID, I believe, when we were all shut down during COVID, that they really needed help in the office and they couldn't get people to come in. And then they found, tell me, how did they find so they went to this virtual group and hired the virtual group to work for them and then started talking to their other doctors who were in the same situation and supplied the virtual assistants for them. So how do you recall how they even found the virtual company and where that decision was to take that on as a business?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean that's a great example because they went from startup to multi-million dollar company in 3 short years. Basically, during COVID, which is pretty recent, and we're still feeling the effects of, no pun intended. Basically, these were two successful doctors. They each had their own practices. They knew each other socially, and they realized that their practices, they couldn't make any money and they couldn't take care of their patients properly because of all the pressures that were going on in the outside world. So individually, they had hired virtual assistants because virtual assistants, the idea is not new, been around for years and years. So they hired virtual assistants to mesh with their staff. And then what they discovered was that this allowed them to be doctors. Doctors want to be doctors. They don't want to be bookkeepers. Look, they don't want to go through resumes. They don't want to be HR. Okay? They don't want to do the billing. They don't want to go home when they want to spend time with their wives and their kids and say, you know what? Sorry guys, I got to go upstairs. I got 6 hours of work, so they can be tired the next day when they go in the office. So they discovered that by hiring virtual assistants, that they could have it all. They could go back to what they went to med school for, which is being a doctor. And so they said, "Hey, this is a business here. If this worked for us, even though their practices were not aligned, this can work for every doctor and dentist in the world. This is a business." And so it was great that they had the idea, but then they had to not only formalize it, but they had to like illustrate it. And that's where the storytelling came in. And that's
And
what, yeah.
and where did you come in?
Well, that's when I came in because one of their, well, he was CEO at the time. He said, Rich, I like your storytelling abilities. Would you do this for the doctors? Can you make it sexy? I don't know if he used the word sexy, and I said, yeah. And so I sat down with the doctors and I got out of them. Doctors can be stiff. We know that. I sat down with them, I interviewed them, and I got those nuggets. And one of the nuggets that came out of the story that we told was, I guarantee, one of the doctors said, I guarantee any doctor that tries this, their practices will flourish. And the guy just went nuts. Like, the guy I was working with, he just said, you got it, you got it. And I told the story. And that's what helped launch their business to great things. Now, what happened was in the 2-minute video that I created for them, they were able to market that to close, so in other words, when they talk to Dr. X, hey, Dr. X, I got this idea for business. Hey, listen, I'm busy. Could you send me something? They sent them the video. The video said, I'll talk to you. That opened the door for them. That allowed them to illustrate rather than spending 20 minutes explaining what it did. The video showed them everything that they could do. And that's what most businesses need. They need I hate to call it an explainer video because those are boring. So, I choose to listen, anybody forgets a boring video. I believe, let's tell a story with some excitement, with some energy that motivates people to as a business owner, what do you want? You want to grow your business. You want to close deals. You want to make money. So I create materials for those businesses so they can make money, so they can close deals.
Okay,
And
great.
and also, so they're not wasting a lot of time spending a half hour with somebody that's not interested. Wouldn't you rather them look at your video and say, you know what, I love what you do, but sorry, you know what I mean? As opposed to you spending a half hour going, well, this is what I do, oh, sorry. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's
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 that. Yeah.
that's the hardest part of a business is weeding out the wrong people and only keeping the right people.
And that's
So,
what's,
so
yeah.
that video went out to, we'll just say multiple doctors, many doctors, because they already had relationships with them in some way, doctor association or whatever.
Hmm.
And and those people who were really interested, they called those doctors. The doctors didn't have to call them, right?
Or they had someone in the office following up on it. Hey, did you get a chance to see the video?
The
Hey,
VA, right? They had
yeah,
the
yeah,
VA
yeah,
company.
exactly. They had the VA and they had their system, and then they were able to grow. So it went from here to here. And I remember, I was on the calls. Oh, first they wanted to get 100 practices in it, and then it was 200. Then the milestone was 500, and then it was 1,000. Well, you do the math. So this was, and look, these were doctors, and you wouldn't think that doctors wanted a side business. You
That's
wouldn't, but that's what it became. And it was brilliant for them. And guess what? Their families were happier, for the two founders because the doctors were able to go to little league games and they were able to, go to the dance recital as opposed to saying, you know what, I got too much paperwork. So it was a win-win-win for everybody. And what was great about it was this tool and a series of tools that allowed them to do it so they could grow, save time, and make money. And that's, like you said before, that's what everybody's in business for.
so you did like how many I'm struggling with this a little bit. So I know you have a follow-up and you stay with people. Do you like do several videos for them or change the videos over time to help keep growing that business?
Yes,
Them so they could close because they close their own clients.
right.
You
Yeah,
don't find clients for them. They
yes.
already have their clients and so
The
so
first one,
are you on a retainer for that kind of thing, for instance?
there's several ways. Yes, I can either
Oh,
be
okay,
on, I can either be on a retainer or I can do a project. I prefer to, on them, I was on a retainer because it was ongoing. In other words, he started with one story.
right,
And then that was to get the door open and
right.
lead to things. And then there were other stories we told what do people want to know? They want to know if you're successful. It's one thing to have a great idea, but if you're not successful, who cares, right? So,
Right.
so then you sell success, so then we told those stories for them. And so, yes, I must have told in the 3 years that I was doing it, dozens of stories for them. And then, they did something that a lot of people hire me to do, and that's do testimonials. So I
Yeah.
would talk to their clients, other doctors, other, dentists, And they, so we'd start, they're pretty much the same, which is what was the pain point? Okay.
Mhm.
Most of the health professionals said, I don't have time. I'm not seeing my kids grow up. I'm not doing it right. I'm exhausted. I can't be a doctor or a dentist as good as I should be because I've got all this nonsense that I have to deal with. But I just want to concentrate on what I went to med school or dental school for. And and then they said, this is how it helped me. This is how it helped me. And that's the key to, everyone we did. And I think, let me give you another example because I don't want people to think it's just for the medical profession. Someone came to me with a data mining company. What could be more boring than mining your data? Okay. I mean, and the guy had, listen, he's a wonderful man. He said, "Oh, Rich, I have a very thick Russian accent. No one's, gonna want." I said, "Let's tell your story." So so that's what we did. Told his story for him. So he, instead of, again, spending hours on the phone explaining how they manage the data in a 2-minute piece that I cut down to a minute and 30 for him, he was able to send that out to potential clients and go, this is me. That cut down his time on the phone calls. That cut down on everything. And his staff used it. So all of a sudden, his business grew from here to here with just, simple videos that just said, this is why I do this. This is my goal. It can help you. Boom. It cut through the noise in a second or in this case, 2 minutes or 90 seconds. And it was able to open up a lot of doors for them. And listen, this is part of the thing that makes me feel good. They say thank you. And then that makes me feel
Great.
good. They make me,
Okay, good.
yeah.
Well, thank you very much for this. So listen, everyone, Rich is going to tell you how to get a hold of him in a minute, but I'd like to give you some important background on him as an Emmy-nominated producer, writer, and creative director, and the founder of Bornstein Media, where he specializes in, as you've just heard, crafting multi-platform campaigns for clients across various industries to save them time and make them money, and sometimes make them a multi-millionaire because he puts together these amazing, amazing campaigns over time as you build your business to become and solve whatever problem it is for your clients. So, Rich Borenstein, thank you for being here. Please tell everyone how they could get a hold of you.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Peggy. It's been great. I love talking to you. And I'm a video storyteller, and if you want to get a hold of me, there's a lot of ways. Probably the easiest way is to go to my website, bornsteinmedia.com, Bornstein media.com. Then you can set an appointment. We'll just chat. There's no sales pitch. It's just a chat. Let me find out a little bit about you. Let's see how I can help you. Because, like Peggy said, what do you want to do? You want to save time and you want to make money. That's what every business owner does. And that's what I try to do. You can email me at richb@bornsteinmedia.com, but probably the easiest thing to do is go to my website, bornsteinmedia.com, and check me out. That's all I ask. I mean, you're only as good as I feel like I'm only as good as my work, and you can see what we've done for other people, and I'm confident that I can help you.
Thank you very much for that. And they can get a hold of you on LinkedIn also, correct?
Yes, LinkedIn. Oh, and I give you my phone number as well because some people like to text. It's 818-606-2383. And I'm happy to talk, happy to talk with people. Um, but sometimes, there's different philosophies. Some people like to get the text, some people don't. So, but
Right.
I'm good. I'm good in whatever. I mean, your number's right there in the chat. So I mean, right there and under your thing, which is
Right.
great. So there's many ways, and the idea is let's just start a conversation. Let's just chat. Let's figure out if I can help you. That's it. That's what I'm in business for. Helping other people, helping other businesses.
Well, you sound so amazing, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some of your work because I know there's some people that are very interested in what you do have to offer. So thank you for very much for being here. Really enjoyed our conversation.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And continued success with everything you're up to because you're fantastic. So I know it's just going to continue.
Thank you.